Yield 5 minutes to my friend from Minnesota, Ms. Fischbach.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And that last exchange just explains to me, it's a perfect example of the absurd arguments that are being made to increase the out-of-control spending. I did have some questions, but after sitting here for a while, excuse me, I have to say a few words because the arguments that are being made, and I think that Representative McLean was talking a little bit about, pleading with the other side to come and help us get this spending under control. But they continue to use these outrageous emotional arguments about the things that that would get cut. And they will not admit that there is, that we can do better, There are things that could be scaled back, that can be, let's face it, cut in the federal government. There are places, but instead, what we always end up hearing about is, of course, they're going to cut, food to children. And I think that that was one of the examples that Representative McLean used. And, it is typical fashion for the Democrats to throw out the most extreme and emotional arguments that they can find because they're unwilling to admit that there's out of control spending. I've been here 2 years, and all I've seen is Democrats spend money the first 2 years I was here. And now they're unwilling to admit, and they can blame it on Trump, they can blame it on Republicans, whatever, but let's face it, we have to get this under control. There was a mention of this is going to hurt our children, this is going to hurt our future. Having the spending cuts, we're going to hurt them, but having this kind of out of control debt is going to hurt them even more and hurt the future of the country. And like I said, I had some questions, but I really felt the need to just get that out because the other side is just unwilling to admit it, just plain and simple. They will make no efforts to cut a dime because what they want to do is continue to spend and spend and spend and spend and they feel like there's no responsibility to the taxpayers, to those middle class folks, the lower income folks that they talk so passionately about, but they're paying for this debt too. And we have to get it under control. We have to get spending under control. And so I feel very strongly that the American people want us to do this. They want us to get this under control. They understand that out of control debt, out of control spending does nobody any good. And I had to say that. I had to get it off my chest because as I sit here and I listen to these ridiculous arguments that we're going to, we're going to starve children, we're going to do all kinds of horrible things, then come to the table and help us figure out this issue. That's all I ask. If they don't want that to happen, then where are they? They claim all these horrible, horrible things, but won't actually help, but won't actually admit that there's even a problem. And they talk about we could potentially, we can afford this debt, doesn't make sense. So I ask, and I appreciate all of the witnesses being here, and all of you've put up with a lot of us all day long, and you've been here for the long haul. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate all your work. But I just I had to talk a little bit about that because it has been so frustrating today to hear that they won't even come to the table and help. So thank you, and I yield back, Mr. Chair.
I thank the gentlelady.